Okay, so today's opener is a pretty good review of what you guys are going to be taking your test over tomorrow. So let's take a look at the conversion. Answer each of the following. So number 1 says convert 75% to a fraction. Darius, how do I convert a percent to a fraction? Okay, so it's out of 100, which means my denominator will be
100.
And my numerator?
75.
Okay, and then fractions we have to simplify. So 75 over 100
15 over 20.
is going to equal, say what?
15 over 20.
15 over 20? Is that going to be in the simplest form? Nope. So what are they both divisible by?
5.
So 5. 15 divided by 5 is?
3 or 4.
20 divided by 5 is 4. So 3/4.
20 come from?
So what he did, he took 75 divided by 5 and got 15. He took 100 divided by 5 and got 20. Now, you guys can either simplify it the way that Darius did by finding the number that both the numerator and denominator are both divisible by. So I always try by 2 or by 5 and reduce it in that manner. Or you can just type in 75 fraction bar 100 equals and it'll reduce it for you. What if they give you an improper fraction though? I want you to change it back to what if they give you a mixed number, like 1 1/2? Do I want your answer written as a mixed number? No, what do I want it as? Improper fraction. So make sure you write it as an improper fraction. All right, number 2. So now we're going to convert this decimal to a fraction. Who can convert this decimal to a fraction for me? Rihanna? What place value is the last digit in here? Okay, what place value is that? Count it for me. Look right. There you go. Tenths, hundredths, thousands. Good. And then what's your numerator going to be?
I got 125, but you divide by...
Hold on. What's your numerator going to start off as, though?
416.
There you go. So it's basically the number without the decimal point. So when you simplify 416 over 1,000, what did you get?
52 over 125.
What did you divide by that? You divided it by 2?
We don't.
Try by. There you go. Here, let's just let's make it a little bit easier. Okay, if we're going to work it out, looking at 416 and 1,000, what are both of these numbers divisible by? Darius?
4.
4. So what's 416 divided by 4 equal?
104 over 250.
104, you said?
Over 250.
Okay, and then 1,000 divided by 4 is 250. Now, is this in simplest form?
No.
No, because they both end in even numbers. So what are both of these numbers divisible by again?
2.
2. So 104 divided by 2 is?
52 over 125.
Over 250 divided by 2 is what?
125.
Is that my final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check it. Let's make sure. So in your calculator, type 416, fraction bar, 1,000. Did we get 52 over 125? Okay. All right, so let's look on to number 3 now. It says convert that fraction, 10 over 11, to a decimal. How do I change a fraction to a decimal? How do I change a fraction to a decimal, Nick? Look at your notes. How do we change that fraction to a decimal? You have it on your paper. How'd you change a fraction to a decimal? Okay, 10 over 11, what'd you do with it? You divide. Good. So you took 10 divided by 11. And when you do that, what do you get?
0.90.
What'd you get?
0.909.
0.9090, like that. Okay? We're going to round it to the nearest thousandths place value. How many places past the decimal is my thousandths? 3. Look right behind it. Is that 5 or greater?
No.
Nope. So what's my final answer going to be?
0.9.
How would I read that number?
0.909,000.
Or you could just say 909 thousandths. You wouldn't have to say the 0 point. When you see a decimal, what can you say instead of a decimal? And. But you wouldn't really say 0 and. You just say 909 thousandths. Any questions about the front side? Did I make any mistakes?
No.
Are you sure? Because I ended up making 2 mistakes yesterday. Kelsey caught one. Nobody caught the other one. Until I was sitting in third hour algebra and I'm like, oh. The other one, the fraction that they gave us at the top left, it wasn't in simplest form. Did you notice that? You just didn't know? Okay, number 4. If a pair of shoes normally costs $119 but is on sale for 30% off, how much will you pay if the tax is 9.1%? My first question to you guys is how many multipliers am I going to end up with? 2. So let's have Kelsey do the first multiplier, Deontay do the second multiplier. Go ahead, Kelsey.
100% minus 30% equals 70%. Divide by 100 equals 0.7.
Now I'm going to circle that because I know I'm going to need that number. All right. Deontay, my second multiplier. How do I find it?
I don't even know.
Okay. So we're going to start at 100% for every
I
multiplier.
don't you start at 100%, then you gotta do with the other multiplier.
Okay. So what's my other percent that's being...
That type?
Well, we did the 30. So now it's
7.
taxed at 9.1%. If it's taxed at, is that going to be a plus or a minus?
Plus.
Okay, so 100% plus 9.1%, which equals
109.1.
Now we change that to a decimal by dividing by 100. So if I divide that by 100, what does that equal?
One and 0.91.
Okay, so that's your second multiplier. Now, how do I find my original or my new amount? So how do I find out how much those shoes are going to cost me? What do I do next? Rihanna?
You put the price down, which is 119.
So I take my original amount of the shoes and
And multiply your multipliers, which is 0.7 and 1.091.
okay. Now when you multiply that out, I want the whole number that you have when you multiply that out.
You get 90.8803.
90 point,
8803.
okay? So now we're talking about the price, right? So the cashier's not going to say you owe $90 and 883 10,000ths, are they? So I'm going to have to round this to the nearest hundred. Which number is in the hundred spot? The second 8, right? Look to the right. Is that number 5 or greater? No. So the price of the shoes are going to be 88 cents.
But it's cheap.
I was going to say, would you buy them?
It's like buying.
I'd buy them for myself. I wouldn't buy them for my kids.
Oh. She petty.
No, my kids tear shoes up so fast.
So.
All right. Let's take a look at number 5. Y'all have this down? All right. So number 5 and number 6. So just determine the percent change 71 to 90. Then it's telling me to round to the nearest tenth of a percent. So when you guys go to take your test tomorrow, really pay attention to what it's telling you to round it to. So if I'm doing percent change, what is my formula for percent change, Haley?
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't done this one.
So what's my formula? Percent change,
90?
okay, because new
Yeah.
minus,
71.
which is my old, divided by,
100.
no. New minus old divided by,
Oh,
old, which is 71, times 100%. Good. So remember, when you type this into your calculator, you have to hit 90 minus 71 equals, divided by 71 equals, times 100. When you do that, what's the entire number that you get? 26.76.
05633.
Okay, we're going to stop there. Now, the directions say round to the nearest tenth of a percent. Which number is in my 10th place value? Look to the right, 5 or greater? Yes, so that 7 goes to a, so I'm going to have 26.8. Now I need 3 things to make my answer complete. Is a plus because it's an increase, a percent. Oh, you guys are perfect. Good. In my eyes, you are.
Why you just got
Deontay Downer over there.
What do you say? We ain't perfect.
Nobody ain't perfect.
My first hour. My first hour is perfect.
Who your first?
Oh my
It must
god.
not be up to
You're
me.
recording this, right?
We not perfect.
Majority of my first hour is perfect.
Not you.
We could take the black sheep out, the one that's always causing problems. Then we'd be perfect.
That'd be
No, not at all. Okay, number 6. If a stock costs $4.21 last year and costs $10.65 this year, what is the percent change? So we know we're still finding the percent change because it's asking what is the percent change. We're going to round it to the nearest tenth of a percent. But before we can get started, we have to identify what my new number is and what my old number is. So what's my old number?
For
My new number?
it's $10.60.
Okay, so on your test, I'm going to look to see that you set up your problem with the percent change sign. And then my new, you guys said was 1065 minus my old, which is 421, divided by what number do I divide it by?
4.21.
Because that's my what number?
Old.
Times
New. 100.
100%. Good. And when you type that into your calculator, what is the entire number that you get? 152?
152.969. Yeah.
So 152.969? Okay. Now the directions tell me to round this to the nearest tenth of a percent. Which number is in my 10th spot? The first 9. Look behind it, 5 or greater. Yeah, so what happens to that 9? Okay, so it turns into a 0. I carry my,
1.
and that 2 turns to a,
3.
so my answer is going to be what?
153.
Do I need to put that point 0 on the back?
No.
No. So it's just going to be 153%.
Percent.
2 more things
Plus.
to show that it's an increase, and my box so that I show that it's my final answer.
This is Lydia. I did not get that at all. This is what I